This is the runaway butter bot. So first of all, please excuse my dust. It's a little messy. So first let's talk about what we have here. Or like what it does. This bot was originally made to bring you butter, but I thought against that. Instead, I made it so it would run away from you every time you tried to call it. Imagine this scenario, right? You notice that your friend is getting a little bit tubby, right? And one day you buy him one of this. You explain to him that it's gonna bring him, I don't know, butter for his pancakes, right? So what you do is you put the butter inside the box, and then he'll call it using a remote control. Using light sensors, he's able to kind of direction it towards him, right? And then one button is just gonna make it go forward until the ultrasonic sensor reads that it's close enough to stop, and he's able to take the butter. However, the motors are unable to go in a straight path, but rather one motor is stronger than the other, so instead he goes in a circle. He turns it on thinking he's gonna get the butter, but instead he's gonna have to work for his butter instead. So it's gonna go in circles, and then he's gonna be a little tubby, so he's gonna go like, oh, I can't reach it, because it's going away from him. So, it kind of helps you with being, more conscious about what you're eating. First, let's talk about the kind of things it has. So obviously, first that we have down here is the ultrasonic sensor. This detects whether it's close enough to an object so that it doesn't run into it, rather it stops. So you just put your hand over it, and the butter bot will stop. Next we have a LCD display. It'll just read feedback like saying it's waiting for a command, it's bringing you butter. Just every time it's in one of its section of the function, right, or the loop, it would just like say what it's doing. And then usually when the ultrasonic sensor is hit, it would just say use your butter or something like that. Now, unfortunately about the LCD display, during testing, or somehow, I'm not sure, I think it was an act of God, that it was connected incorrectly, and now the LCD just doesn't display anything. So unfortunately, I'm not able to use it anymore. But I have code in it that would work if the LCD display would work. So yeah, that's just unfortunate. Next we have a servo motor connected to a photoresistor. This is the kind of, here, let me see. Oh, okay. This is the kind of thing that kind of angles it, right? So what it does is that it scans 180 degrees, and wherever you're shining your light at, right, it will read that and then subtract it by 90 degrees, or subtract the position at which it was highest by 90 degrees. And then if that difference is significant enough, it'll turn in that direction so that it's facing towards you. Of course, that's just a scam because it's not going to go towards you anyways. Back here we have the H bridge. Here, let me see. There you go. And that H bridge controls both of the motors, so it can go forward, backwards, and then control its speed. But because this thing is a little heavy, it's either 100% or nothing, because then the motors won't work. Then we have the IR receiver, which connects to this remote, which controls the whole process in which it brings you the butter. So we have buttons designated here, like 0 is the scan, and that changes the angle at which the bot will be going, and then 1 will be it starting to go forward until it hits an object, which then it breaks. All right, as you can see, it's a little bit dark right now, but that's because we're about to test out the light sensor mechanism. So what it's going to do is going to read where the light is coming from the highest using my phone, which I can just turn on and off a light. All right, so let's start up the laptop. Oof, that's bright. There you go. All right, so what we're just gonna do is I have it so that it's gonna give me feedback about what it reads, or the light sensor what it reads. So we have here is, you see the E916, that is the code, the hex code coming from the remote control right here. Ooh. And then after that, it will give me the angle at which the brightness was the highest, and then the correction, which is just the difference between the highest brightness and 90 degrees, which is forward, right? And then if that difference is high enough, then it will move either left to left. If it is, let's see, it will turn left if it is negative, and then right if it is positive, right? Yes. All right, cool. So let's test it. So let's just say that I want it to go to the right. So we have it here. And so I'm gonna press the 0, which is the button for the hex code, which is E916FF00. So we just press that. It's gonna read. It'll point towards me, and then it didn't move. That's because the motors, right? Okay, I swear, like a day ago it was moving, but now they're not. So let's just try that again. Should read towards me, and then as you can see, this one was going backwards and then that one was going forwards, right? So if this is going backwards and this is going forward, then it should turn this way. It's just gonna turn for like a couple of seconds, and then you can just keep on doing that, so then it's directed towards you if the motors were working. Right, so cool. If I wanted to, I could just switch out the motors and then have the butter coming towards me, but since I'm not in the position to get such motors right now, instead what's gonna happen is this motor on the right side is significantly stronger than the left, so it's just gonna go in a circle instead. I don't have the space for it right now, nor the wires to connect it, or the wires long enough for me to power it. So you're just gonna see what's gonna happen as I press the number 1 button. That is just gonna make it so it goes forward. However, it's not gonna go forward, it's gonna turn to the left, and then your butter is gonna go away from you as you reach. So cool. So what you do is you just press the first button. It's gonna read the highest brightness. It reads it that it's over here, which kind of makes sense considering the light coming from there. And then the motors are gonna move down here if they would move. And then once it's directed towards you, you press the number 1 button, and yeah, if it had enough space, it would just keep on going in circles around this way, and then it goes towards you, and then it goes away. So let's just keep it going here. You can see the motors are moving, you hear how loud it is, and then alright. Now how to stop it is the ultrasonic sensors. As I said before, all you gotta do is boom, and then it stops. So you gotta work for your butter basically, and doing so, you kind of like choose whether or not is it really worth it if you want to get those extra calories, I'm not sure. It's just, America has an obesity problem. I guess this could work. I guess you could upsize it and then put it into a pizza box and have a salad in front of you. You kind of gotta work for your pizza and you gotta say, is it worth it? Really? And so yeah, I guess I could introduce the interrupt button, which all it does is just stops everything. And then, so let's just say it's in the middle of scanning. Just stop here, and then it just goes straight to 90 degrees. And then once that stops flashing, you can start working again. And yeah, that's my runaway butterbot. Um, yeah.